Hi, I'm Amanda, and you know this year the flu is vicious, and that's why we're having really deep discounts on the programs that are going to help you the most, like 50% off for weeks on those programs, especially the Stop the Flu program. So this is what it's Radiant Immune Defense, and then Fight the Flu and Antiviral. You see, you can say stop it cold, because you can usually stop a cold right in its tracks. But when you get the flu, it comes on so fast and so strong that you really have to fight it. So here's what you do first. You want to protect yourself. You've been taking a Radiant Immune Defense. You up it from 2 twice a day to 3 twice a day. And that will help you, with the flu, it'll help it be less vicious, and it'll help it not last as long. And then number 2, you start looking for the key ingredient that comes when you get a flu. And that is a high fever right away. You see, the MO, the modus operandi of a flu, is hit hard and dry everything up. So, but it's sneaky. So you may have just a day when you have feeling extremely warm. Maybe you don't even take your temperature. You know, you can have a temperature of 102 and not even really realize you've got a temperature if you've got a really busy day and you're doing lots of things. But if all of a sudden, you see, when you have a high temperature, it dries things up. If all of a sudden you feel like your voice is becoming crackly and you have maybe even a deep cough that starts that came out of nowhere, no nasal congestion, no sore throat, none of the warning signs that you get with a cold, just boom, you've got it. You have a day of heat, and all of a sudden you're dry. So the way to fight back with the flu is think moisture. You want to get some pear juice. You want to get your, I thought I had it here, a essential oil diffuser that keeps moisture in the room, just keeps a little moisture coming. They're only about $16 on Amazon. And you get you have the pear juice, you have that, and you be drinking a lot of hot water. That's what you can do on your own. What you can add to that to make everything work better is that you can add the antiviral that will get rid of anything that's left from the heat, from that made you have the fever. It helps to pull down that heat so you don't have it anymore where you notice it. So this you don't have to take that long, just 2 twice a day, no more, and maybe you take it for a week. That's it. Unless your phlegm finally starts to come up and it turns yellow or green, then you take it for a couple of days and then put it away. Fight the flu. This one is fighting back. It's fighting back to help have more moisture in your lungs. It's fighting back to try to help you get more moisture and pull out the flu. So these two things together are, with the Radiant Immune Defense increasing the amount of the herbs, is what helps you to fight through it. Now, though, what we usually call a lingering symptom, a cough that doesn't stop and sometimes is spasmodic at night, that is usually something that we wait till the end for the lingering symptoms. But in this case, you may want to stop the cough a little bit sooner, because this is, for all that sticky phlegm that got really hard really fast, this is a mild mucolic. So that means it moistens, it thins that, and helps you sooner to get it out of your lungs. So you take 3 times a day. You do that for a bottle, and you're going to find that your cough is beginning to loosen up and go away. When you have a flu, as I said, there's no warning signs. You don't get that sore throat. You don't get that fever that comes and goes. You get, all of a sudden, you feel really fatigued, and then you get that fever, that heat. And it can last for a week or it can last for a day. Hope it lasts for a day, because a week is even worse. But you really do dry up, and the way to fight back is to be sure that you think moisture. When you finish, you know, when you have the flu, you can have muscle spasms, body aches, and fatigue. That's the other key for the flu. It's immediate hit, dries you out with that fever, and get the cough, and then fatigue, 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 fatigue. So when that kicks in about a week or so, then you want to add in energy boost. Even though it's not the end of the flu, you're going to take energy boost, and that's going to help your body bring back the energy. Add this to radiant immune defense, because radiant immune defense also has astragalus and other herbs that help to lift energy. So the flu is beating your energy down, and these formulas will help bring it back up. So at the end of this video, there's a lot of links to different things. Number one, there's a link to the program, the Fight the Flu program. And that goes into great detail about everything I've said, plus a little more. So read that. Be aware. It also has a very interesting chart that takes symptoms and compares them between a flu and a cold, so that you can be real clear about what you have or what your children has or what you have or what your husband has and how to deal with it. Do you deal with it as a cold or a flu? Right now, we're all fighting this flu. I don't think anybody I know has had a cold in a month. So you have lingering symptoms that happen after a cold or a flu, and we have a whole video on that. But at the end of this video, we're going to give you a PDF that'll list them all and tell you what to do about them. And we will also have a link to go to the Fight the Flu program. So I just want you to get through this season and not be wiped out by the flu. So know what you're dealing with and fight back. Fight the flu. If you have our herbs and you have those techniques, if it hits you, you may only have it for a day or two, especially if you've been taking your radiant immune defense. If it goes on further, you know how to continue to fight back so that when you come out of it, you feel better than you felt in a long time. You know, recovering from the flu is a very important thing. When you get hit by a hard cold or a hard flu, the recovery is also critical. So next week we're going to do a video on recovering, because there's a Chinese medicine theory that I've seen work, that if you get really hit hard one season and then you think, okay, fine, I'm feeling all right, and then you muddle through until the next year and you really don't take anything like radiant immune defense or one of the immune builders to help you, next year you're going to get it and get it harder. So if you do get hit, you really want to think about finding a way to get strong faster. So next week we'll go into that, foods to eat, soups to make, whatever. And you'll have a PDF to follow that as well. Okay? So please take advantage of our deep discount sales on everything that has to do with flu and lingering symptoms. And I wish you well.